Yeah, I've just managed to get it going. Twitch was being an absolute nightmare, but I think we're all good now. I'm just checking. Oh, Gunners. I'll make sure to give him plenty of screen time then. Yeah, we're all working. Nice one. Yeah, it wasn't playing. I don't know why, but it kept freezing and stopping the stream randomly. But it's all good now, so I'm gonna jump out of the party. Yeah, nice one. Good luck, lads. So, unfortunately, we had a little bit of an issue there, but everyone can come back now. Come back because it is round 14 of GP3 for SF1 Simulation Formula 1. We like to think we're one of the best mixed sort of quality leagues. We've got GP3, GP2, GP1, all ranges of different abilities there, and well, it's great to see them in play. I especially love watching the GP3 because brilliant drivers, don't get me wrong. You have those little tussles and those little those moves that you might not see in the higher tiers, which makes things really exciting. And sometimes you have tiers, but sometimes you got some really awesome overtakes and some really awesome racing. So hopefully we'll see some of that today. We're just waiting for everyone to load up. I don't know, unfortunately, what is... Here we go, there we go, we've got qualifying. So Robert22 put it on pole. I'm really sorry that we missed that, by the way, guys, but we'll have a look and see. It doesn't tell us what lap time. So Robert22 got pole there with Cypher, Josh, Rathful, Danberg and Phil, your top 5. Kenarito 6th, Cardinal 7th. Lord Bumbledore, he hasn't qualified quite as strongly as his racecraft is in many of the races, so it'll be interesting to see how far up the grid he can get. I'm sure we'll see him on the podium, or at least fighting for a win maybe. He's in P8. You're Robbie, another fast driver in P9. Johnny Sherbert as well. He showed some proper pace at the beginning of the season. He's tailed off a little bit throughout the season into these sort of closing stages, but we definitely know that he's got some pace and some great racecraft as well. All hour your face 11th, Kimmy, Solex, Gumba, Sweat Palm, Nutmeg Tukas, Gamerman, Aqua in 18th, Gunners in 19th, not last, which is brilliant, and Grimdog last of everyone on P20. I'm not sure if he's set a lap or not. So maybe some people not quite where we thought they'd be. Some people, in fact, not many people at all where we thought they'd be. It's quite a mixed grid. It's almost as if the top 10 are sort of a little bit swapped around, bar sort of Johnny Sherbert, your Robbie. They're about where they've been. But this could be a really exciting fight. And by the looks of it, we might be seeing some rain. I know I saw a few drops in qualifying, well, what we saw of qualifying. Sorry that you missed that. Carlos. Yeah, sorry that you missed that, guys, but no, I think we're going to see some rain. If we have any drivers in the chat, do let me know what the forecast is, because it does look a little bit cloudy, a little bit foggy, and less than optimal, I would say. So yeah, I think we'll be going in the next, I think, 2 minutes. We'll probably be going on the 9 o'clock mark. But yeah, do get involved in the chat box if you are there. I see there's nearly on double figures. It'd be nice to see. We've had up to I think we had 35, 36 people for about most of one of the streams that we did early on in the season. It'd be nice to see those figures again. Hubbard in the chat. Let's go. Hashtag Alfa Romeo. Yeah. Well, all the best for Alpha. You can see Robert and Cypher have readied up now already. So Solex, Kimmy, they're all going. Everyone starting to get ready to go, and I'm not even set up and ready yet either. I need to move my left leg. There we go. And my right leg. Wonderful. I'm now ready. So are the drivers. This is an awkward position. Here we go. We've seen the formation lap days on predicted pit stop strategy, soft to hard or soft medium. It'd be interesting to see what people are doing, but I would be very surprised if we don't see some rain. There's someone already, Wrathful, going a little bit deep there at the beginning as we see them all round lap 1, corner, turn 1. And getting going. Soft to medium is the strategy. Get some info from SF1 Carlos. Thank you. I wouldn't know. But oh shit! I've just knocked over some beer. Sorry, excuse my language. I wouldn't know because I'm not going to be racing tomorrow. You're not going to have me to beat tomorrow, so I wouldn't know what strategy is. I've not looked at all. But soft to medium is what we've been told from Carlos. AFCSJC, it says day and it says dry and overcast. Okay, so it's just going to be a bit gloomy, dark and gloomy for the whole race. Streamlabs giving us a bit of promotion there. That SF1 Carlos isn't even racing tomorrow either. Fair enough. So, Gamer Man getting some heat into his tyres. LNST Aqua, Gunners, Grimdog at the back of the grid, but the sharp end consisting of Phil, Damberg, Wrathful, Cypher Josh and Robert 22 as they get a load of heat into their tyres, rounding, getting ready to settle onto the grid. So it's a very long lap, so it can keep quite, it can feel quite long, the formation lap. But it is a very long lap, so plenty of time to get some heat into those soft tyres. Robbo7616, I'll just say Robbo. Let's go, lads, keep it clean. Yeah, hopefully we see some clean racing. It is Spa though, we've got some quite enticing corners which can really pull you into making moves when you probably shouldn't. And SF1 Carlos, mate, took the day off tomorrow. Lucifer is out. Noose is bonking too. Going to binge watching the remaining episodes behind handing out the cinema. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not too keen on Lucifer, to be honest. I could never really get into it, but my mate loves it as well. And Kong Godzilla looks good. That does look good indeed. So, coming round, final corner, everyone getting ready to line themselves up. They're stuck on the grid. Bit of jumping around and we don't really know what's quite happening. Something is, something's not. And they're off! Beautiful stuff as Cypher gets a decent start, pulls alongside his teammate as they're side by side into the turn. Wrathful, Damberg, they all get through cleanly, everyone through cleanly, brilliantly done. Very nicely done, but as we go all the way back up to Radion now to see who's where, who's going to get through, and straight on goes Robert, completely cocks that up, pushes the Williams wide as well. There's a little bit of an issue with rejoining there, and that's forced Robert 22 all the way down within an instant to 8th position. Cardinal makes his move past taking advantage of that mess up, and it's now Wrathful and Phil, the Alfa Romeo duo, on the back of this Mercedes driver as they head down the hill into this long hairpin. Very easy to go deep and to lose a lot of speed and tyre wear into the corner with no name, and down the hill towards Pouon. A 4-car train now, and you're Robbie just trailing a little bit, but Cypher at the head of this pack with a bit of movement towards the back as well. All Our Face makes the move on Robert 22 as well, who's having a terrible time, and Cardinal moves up past Damberg, and there's a little bit of a tussle at the back between between Nutmeg and Sweat Palm, sorry, as they're all quite close together. Nutmeg actually gets worse off, just trying to hold it on the track, and it's gone from bad to worse and into the wall. He tried to hold it, but a little bit too much on the throttle. And look at that, Lord Bumbledore all the way back at the back of the grid at Spa of all places, as Phil gets himself the first penalty of the day. So 3 corner cuts in just 1 lap. Things aren't going too smoothly for Phil, and the gap ahead stays at about 7/10. But Lord Bumbledore in 17th as Sweat Palm makes another advance on Robert 22. He's gone all the way down from 2nd And now he pits, so he's going to be dead last, really, when he comes out of the pits, as we'll head back up to the majority of the racing, and it's Kennerito. Sweatpalm makes his way past Grimdog makes his way past Sweatpalm at the back there, but Kennerito on Phil as he sticks into the slipstream. That's not the view we wanted, thank you very much. But not much he can be doing there without the DRS. What has happened to Wrathful? Okay, Wrathful is still second. The usual mess of glitches with his connection, which sometimes throws up problems, but I'm sure his actual racing is okay. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But Wrathful is not 20th, he is second, along with Phil, who's really trying to stick to the back of his teammate and the leader. He has got pressure from Kennerito behind, just 3/10, and another lap or so, and he's going to be in DRS. Is a little mistake there from Wrathful. Pulls Phil onto the back of him. Now they've got to decide what they're going to do. Are they going to fight, or are they going to just work together, get the fast laps, and get themselves past that leader? What do we got towards the back? Lord Bumbledore all the way up to 11th. So earlier he was down in 18th. I'm not sure if that was right, but that's what it said. So just to add drama, he was down in 18th, and now he's up into 11th. But brilliant stuff there as Grimdog. 5/10 behind Kimmy as well, so there's a few cars getting ready, sizing themselves up for moves. Sweatpalm, or Sweet Palm, Sweatpalm, is not losing out too much. Cypher, Josh and Phil battle. Looks like there was a lunge into... Wrathful's actually made his way past Cypher at that hairpin there, so there must have been a bit of contact between Phil and Cypher. Josh and Phil has gone side by side up the hill and lost out big time from Cypher. He just wasn't in the right position really to do much, as Cypher now has Kennerito on the back of him for good luck as well. Wrathful starting or deciding that he's going to pull that gap now, so Robber, yeah, I retract my last comment. Master of the wall. Okay, I've missed out a bit of banter there, but I'm glad that you guys are getting in the comments. It's nice to see some action in the comment boxes. There's a seen a blue flag there. It's very strange. I think that's being shown for Wrathful just because of the glitching. Ignore that again. Oh, finally we've got the boards in the right place. So Wrathful from Cypher Josh from Kennerito is giving him a hell of a... but he's bothering him big time. But he's just got to stay on the back till he gets that DRS. Open it up and fly past him. Nutmeg is the true master of the wall. Yeah, it almost looked like he had a magnet stuck to him there. I digress. Cypher sticking to the back of Wrathful. Oh no, it's not. Sorry, I was looking at the timing and not the screen. Cypher losing out to Wrathful now as he's starting to pull that gap. But I've got to say, Cypher just doing a good job to not lose tons of time whilst being pestered by the Red Bulls behind. And just to add on to that, we've got Cardinal now joining them for company. So Cardinal looking to try and get involved in this fight. At the moment it's a fight for second because that leader has just pulled away. If these guys have half a brain on them, they will all try and work together, but it's very difficult to coordinate two cars together, let alone four that are just fighting for the points and for the glory. But Cardinal's going to try and stick onto the back there. Let's see if we've got any fighting at the back. We've got All Our Your Face. He's just 2/10 behind Grimdog. So is he going to be able to make a move down the Kemmel Straight? I think it's the Kemmel Straight, yeah. I might be getting some names mixed up with kart tracks or other tracks that I've been to, but unfortunately Grimdog has the DRS as well, but he pulls alongside. No, he has a look, but he can't get that done as Kimmy is under pressure from Grimdog. This is the fight for 10th place, so in real F1 this will be the fight for the final point, but of course points all round for finishers in SF1. And let's just have another look, because that gap between Cypher and Wrathful isn't changing on the board, but I'd like to see what it actually is. Okay, so it's staying at about, I'd say that's about 1.5 seconds. The gap, maybe 2 seconds, yeah, 1.5. 1.5 seconds to Wrathful ahead as your Robbie makes his way past Kenarito. Feels maybe he can't get it done today. So your Robbie gets a chance to try and attack Cypher Josh. Let's go back down to the Grimdog fight. Things have tamed down, but all out of your face is all over Kimmy. I jumped to the front and missed the overtake from Grimdog onto Kimmy, but it's now all out of your face's time to try and make the move. Probably wouldn't make it at the end of the start straight though, because then he's going to get absolutely pummeled down Kemmel Straight, because it looks to me like Grimdog is pulling away quite a considerable gap there. Lord Bumbledore in 9th position. 1.3 the gap to Wrathful, so I was there or thereabouts with my prediction on the gap. But we're looking here at the smallest gap. Is all out of your face, and he comes up the hills, trying not to lose too much momentum now. He wants to try and get close, but I'm pretty sure Grimdog is within DRS, Kimmy is within DRS as well. He's not, he hasn't got it open, but all out of your face doesn't have enough time this time just to get past. Here's Lord Bumbledore having a look at Phil. Phil earlier at the sharp end fighting for the lead, but he made that mistake earlier, and now he's being jostled around by the Williams of Lord Bumbledore, the championship leader. He's really showing us why he's the championship leader. Did Phil 869 get any damage? I didn't see on my screen, it all went by quite quickly. But we'll have a look at his car. It doesn't look like he's got any damage. He might have. I don't think he's pit either by the looks of it. So no, he hasn't got any damage, luckily. Phil 869 in 8th position behind Solex, who's looking to try and cling onto the back of his teammate, and Cardinal still trying to stay close to this battle for 2nd position, and Wrathful enjoying himself, relaxing, kicking back, just letting the lap times roll in, then all the laps count down. Yeah, he did get away with that big time, but laps have passed, and now we're looking at the battle, and just as I move away, all out of your face, Phil, Sweat Part, they all start coming together, and all out of your face makes the move up the inside of Kimmy, but again, is he too far away now from Grimdog to get the DRS, which means that if Kimmy can stay right on the back of him, he's going to have the DRS, and he's going to have a nice run. Yeah, he's very close to the back. Let's see. He's going to have the run. All out of your face goes defensive, forces Kimmy to the outside, but Kimmy's got it done with the extra straight line speed, and another lap stuck behind the Haas for the McLaren driver there. He's got his teammate behind him now as well for company, and he's getting ready to try and make a move. Maybe he's going to sweep past. It's going to be a swap of positions here, maybe not. It is only league racing, so you don't get the same amount of loyalty. Did he go wide to let him through? No, he didn't. Just a mistake. So getting held up a bit here by the Haas driver. As you can see, all our face and Grimdog were fighting for position, and Grimdog's got ahead, and he's already over 2 laps, 3.5 seconds ahead of Kimmy, and I think that's why all our face really wants to keep the position ahead of his teammate. He knows he's got the pace, he just can't quite get past, and now that he's being attacked, they're just losing touch to the Haas driver. We'll keep an eye on that. I know as soon as I move away they're going to overtake, but there are some battles at the sharp end here. Your Robbie looking to try and take P2 from Cypher Josh as Lord Bumbledore passes Johnny Sherbet. He's really making moves now through the pack. 8 seconds behind Cardinal now. We'll keep an eye on that because that will drop, I'm sure, as here comes Cardinal up the hill to have a look at Kenarito's gearbox. But has Kenarito got DRS? Yes, he does. This is the problem you get, but Cardinal's gaining. He pulls out, he has a look. Is he going to get it done under braking? No, he doesn't quite get the late braking there, and he has to settle for 5th position once again, and maybe try again another lap. But your Robbie made the move past Cypher Josh and made it stick as well. So Cypher, obviously without the DRS there, just got gobbled up, and your Robbie now free to try and catch Wrathful. That gap stayed at about 1.3, 1.5 seconds. which is either controlling the gap from Wrathful or just some very good race pace whilst also scrapping. As we have a retirement, could that throw up a safety car? Is it at the top of the hill? I can't see. We'll stick on. I've just realised I've left you guys without data for the entire race. There you go. Where is he stopped? It was at the top of Radion, so he's obviously just had a hiccup there, but no safety car, just yellow flags. It's all been swept up and sorted out, and we carry on as your Robbie pits and Cypher Josh pits. Cardinal and Kennerita together. I think they maybe we're expecting a safety car to try and get that one in, but it's around about the right time to be stopping. Yeah, between 8 and 9. I'd probably normally try and leave it to the later laps if I've still got the pace. But that's your Robbie and Cypher choosing the undercut, and we'll see if Cardinal and Kennerito chose the better option to go one lap longer with the overcut. We'll find out exactly who comes out on top. And look at that, Lord Bumbledore was 8 seconds behind Cardinal, and after the yellow flags, I'd say he's somehow caught up massively, just 4.3 behind Cardinal now, which is just ridiculous pace. So where he's come from, I'm not sure. But again, we'll see where people are after the pit stops. Well, Aryaface has wing damage. Yeah, I missed that, sorry. But he did incredibly well to stay, to keep up where he was. With a little bit of wing damage as well. Let's have a look, see, we've got Gumbos close to the back of Kimmy. Not many battles, really. This is the closest one. He has the DRS, but I think he's going to run out of straight there, unfortunately. He does. So yeah, this is the closest battle at the moment. 3/10 separate them. And we'll see at the end of this lap where Kennerito and Cardinal come out. Just gonna grab myself a sip of the drink. A sip of the drink. As into the pitch goes Wrathful. That's interesting. I thought he'd pit with them, so Wrathful just lost out massively, so there must have been a coming together with the top guys. That'll be why Lord Bumbledore got so much closer. And Cardinal pits along with Kennerito stays out. Okay, interesting. No, Cardinal, Kennerito did pit. Okay, so Kennerito slots in behind your Robbie. And Grimdog yet to pit as well. So Phil quite close to the back of... Oh dear! Oh, just got a little bit too close, missed his braking point, and that was that really for Cypher Josh. There's definitely going to be a clip in there, and there's definitely some wing damage to the front of Phil's car. So Phil and Cypher having a coming together at the end of the Kemmel, just missing the braking point somewhat. Definitely not on purpose, but unfortunately that's maybe a penalty going Phil's way, and a bit of damage as well to add insult to injury. That's unfortunate, but that's racing. Just missing his point. Cardinal losing touch now with the top boys, and Kennerito and Robbie. The gaps have increased somewhat, but we'll see. We'll see how they do in the long run. Lord Bumbledore pits. Okay, where's Lord Bumbledore gonna come out? Because he opted to do the slightly longer stint. He's very fast. We saw him coming through the grid, and this is going to be interesting to see where he comes out. Relatively good pit stop, and he comes out. He's behind Cardinal. but by how much? Oh, that is so close. It was 4.5 seconds. He does the extra lap, comes out of the pits 2 seconds behind, or 1.5 seconds, for goodness sake. 1.5 seconds behind Cardinal. Brilliant bit of driving there. Obviously pumping in consistent, really fresh, consistent lap times. Not making any mistakes, and he has come out on top there massively. Gaining, it's only a matter of time now till Cardinal meets Lord Bumbledore and has to defend big time. Wrathful up into 6th. So Cypher only losing 1 position from that mix-up. Obviously Phil had to go into the pits to replace his wing. This isn't really a track where you can continue around with too much damage, so you've got to be wary of that. Staying out can lose you more time than just pitting straight away and getting whatever damage it is, depending on the severity, fixed. What do we got now? Wrathful, I don't actually know where he is. I think he actually is in front of Cypher Josh, so I will assume that that's correct. And Gumba still staying nice and close to the back of Kimi. They are the closest drivers at the moment, so we'll watch them just in case a mistake is made. 8 tenths and Phil behind them as well in the Alfa Romeo, who's going to be looking to close up. Got a couple places for him to take there, and 10th place could be his. Getting very close to the back of Gumba now, and there's a nice long slipstream area now. Sorry, getting a couple hiccups there. All over the back of Grimdog. Can you get him sized up? Is he going to do it at the chicane? If he can't do it at the chicane, he's got to wait. He has a look. He just gets chopped off. Looks for the cutback. Gets a little bit better traction. But ultimately, the DRS... Oh, the DRS is open for both of them. There you go. It's a drag race down to the straight and then hard on the anchors. Grimdog goes a little bit deep and another cutback from Phil. This is a brilliant little race between the Ferrari and the AlphaTauri. Now, who wants to get DRS? Who wants to get DRS? That's the question. It is Gumba who opts for the DRS option. Takes it down the straight, gets it open. Is he going to be able to fight back now? But also, see, Phil's managed to get the DRS as well, so Phil managed to shuffle up through. He was fighting for the lead of the race earlier on, but some great racing between the Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo there. And now, look at Phil, having a look at Kimi, shoves it down the inside, a little bit deep. He's going to be able to defend on those medium tyres around the outside, on the throttle, and the Haas just can't do anything about it, and he's now got the Ferrari behind him for company. Is the Ferrari going to have a look and see if he can pass Kimi? It's a bit of optimistic into Puon. He's not going to do it, but he's going to get the better traction on the exit. Stick into the back of that Haas. He really needs to get this done straight away. Watch, he's got the momentum, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen this time round. And Phil is now going to shuffle away into the distance. Already 1.5 seconds the gap. Can Gumba have another try on Phil, on Kimi now? Some brilliant racing there. I've got to have a look now at the top here. Lord Bumbledore up into 3rd place behind Cardinal, who's in 2nd place. So after that fight that we've just been watching, there's been some shenanigans up at the top of the grid, and Cardinal's up into 2nd, 4.5 seconds behind your Robbie. Lord Bumbledore now has DRS. He's going to attack the Renault driver, who defends and manages to hold 2nd place for one more corner and possibly one more lap. But Lord Bumbledore all over the back of the Renault driver there, and your Robbie looking comfortable. But we're seeing a lot of drivers at the top step here and looking comfortable, but no cigar quite yet. Here is Kenarito, who was running 2nd. I believe he's had a bit of a cock-up of some sort. And Wrathful as well. Remember, he was at the top end, the sharp end of the grid. He dropped down, and Grimdog was there, but he hadn't pitted yet. So he's now pit, which has promoted Robbie up into 1st, Cardinal to 2nd, Lord Bumbledore to 3rd, which is brilliant stuff. Phil still in front of Kimi, and Kimi still fighting off Gumba, who seems to have dropped off somewhat. So Lord Bumbledore and Cardinal, the cars to watch currently I am thoroughly enjoying this battle as we just clocked past the halfway mark. And a bit of a slide there for Cardinal. Really feeling the pressure from Lord Bombardier as the DRS once again. Now if Cardinal is going to get past, he wants it to be into the first corner so that he can have the opportunity to maybe try and stick onto the back and get that DRS open to counter-attack onto Lord Bombardier at the end of the kennel. But at the moment, it looks like he's going to be vulnerable and possibly, probably, definitely going to get past. Now down the straight, can Cardinal stick to him for one lap, stay in the DRS zone and possibly have another fight back on Lord Bombardier, or just let Lord Bombardier put him through the race maybe. Increases his race time, increases his lap times, but he's got to try not to drop off from Lord Bombardier because Kennerito is only 3 seconds behind him. Bit of an odd shuffle there for the grid as Kimi. Is he going to get past this time? Here's Gumba. Opens up that DRS. He's not close enough this time round either. You just cannot get close enough. Every time he comes up Radion, he loses about half a second and it just isn't quite enough. As Lord Bombardier is now looking all the way from I can't remember, but it was very far down. He's now coming up to possibly win this race. There's nearly half of the race left and he's only got 4.5 seconds to find. Can your Robbie keep his cool and keep those lap times going? Cardinal already 1.5 seconds off of Lord Bombardier, but doing a brilliant job in 3rd place there for the Renault team. Kennerito will keep an eye on that gap because it's about 3 seconds. If it drops below the 2.5, we'll know he's gaining because it's bouncing around just a little bit. Solex 1.7 off of Grimdog as well. I don't think Robert 22 actually is a lap down, but he's sitting in 7th place behind Cypher Josh. So as he's coming through here, the leaders are going through the long hairpin at the bottom of the hill. That's quite interesting to see. Cardinal's holding that gap roughly. I think it's just the odd mistake he's making, but he's holding that gap around about 1 second. And Lord Bombardier on the fresher tyres, so has this slight advantage. He can possibly decide when he wants to push, how hard he wants to push. And Kennerito now dropping off the back of Cardinal. Solex is making inroads on Grimdog. We did say to keep an eye on that. It was at 1.7 a couple laps ago, but it's now just underneath the 1 second mark, so we'll get DRS this lap round if he can keep doing what he's doing, as it just pops above and then dips below and then jumps above. It just needs to try and get his foot down and really get on the back of him, get that DRS open and try and make the move stick. Cardinal drops half a second there, a little bit of a mistake maybe. Now down to 2 seconds off the back of Lord Bombardier. But here's Solex. Now 7 tenths with the DRS, 6 tenths. Half a second, he's got the DRS open. It comes down, it's not going to be enough, but crucially it will put him in a really nice position. Assuming that Grimdog isn't too close to Robert, which I think he is, and I think the timings on this are a little bit wrong, because it looks to me like Grimdog does have DRS. He does have DRS. However, Solex pulls down the inside. He's ready to hit the anchors. Brilliant defending from Grimdog. He keeps the place, just holds it around the outside a little bit later on the throttle, on the brakes, and tips it in and stays ahead, crucially, of the 1 second gap to Robert, because it is showing 4.5 seconds on my screen, which is kind of difficult to judge. But looking at that gap now, I'd say that's roughly 1.3, 1.2, 1.2 seconds to Robert ahead of him. So maybe next lap round, Solex will have the opportunity to use the DRS without Grimdog countering with the DRS as well. So Solex could sweep by him as long as he stays nice and tight to the back of him within that half a second gap to really get effective DRS usage. Oh, as round goes Robert, and he drops down behind the two. So Grimdog definitely not going to have DRS this time and is going to be a little bit vulnerable from Solex. Let's have a look and see how this goes. So Robert just loses the rear end there, and he's dispatched stage left, and just, yeah, he's dropped a few places. I think he's got a bit of damage as well. But here comes Solex. Can he make the most of this? He's got to plant it up through Radion. Hit the brow of the hill, cut the corner a little bit there. He might get a penalty. Didn't see anything pop up, but I think he's lost the opportunity there with a bit of a cock up through Radion, and not close enough this time. So really that would have been the ace opportunity to just, once he's got the momentum, throw it down the inside of Grimdog. Oh, as I spoke too soon, is he going to do just that? Throw it down the inside. Doesn't seem quite as confident on the brakes. They're quite even side by side. Beautiful shot from the game here. Side by side still, and just edges ahead. Solex makes it past Grimdog. A brilliant display of trust between two drivers there, which was brilliant. Absolutely great to watch that race there. Solex makes his way up into 7th position, and now is going to start chipping away at that 4.6 second gap to Cypher Josh. He does have he's got 6 laps to get that done, so it's a possibility. Just needs to get a few tenths a lap, really cut away at that slice of the cake. But a brilliant bit of driving there from both Grimdog and Solex to show us just how to overtake and how to defend. But really, Grimdog's attempt is almost over. He might manage to get just back into DRS if he brakes nice and hard here. No, loses out a couple tenths, so he's just losing out that time. Even though he's on the newer tyres, just doesn't quite have the speed. As Gamerman's retired there, things not quite going perfectly for him. Gunners will move himself up into 16th position. Not lapped yet, which is brilliant to see. But 1 minute and 52 down, so he's very close to being lapped. In fact, we'll quickly have a look. I think the lead is right behind him. No, I'm not sure what's going on there. He is. He's letting Cardinal through, or not. No, a little bit of trouble there letting Cardinal through, so possibly he might be a bit annoyed. But Canarito, crucially, still not gaining on Cardinal, and Cardinal has dropped off massively to Lord Bumbledore, who has gained massively on your Robbie, and I think in a lap or two that is most definitely going to be the race to watch. In fact, I think we're going to jump on to Lord Bumbledore and your Robbie this instant and see exactly how this is going to pan out. Grimdog staying within a second of Solex, but crucially Solex is pulling that gap down big time. He's taking a second out of Cypher Josh in just that one lap. But Lord Bumbledore now under 2 seconds and really gaining on your Robbie, who I'm sure is just begging for the laps to go. He just less than 4 laps, please. He wants 1 lap, not 4 laps. So he's really going to be a test to see if he can keep his cool. 1.6 the gap now, but a brilliant and entertaining race as Gunners moves up into 16th now and has been lapped finally on lap 18. Almost made it to the end without being lapped, which is brilliant stuff, but not quite. But a very good job there for Gunners. Kimmy makes a move. Oh no, he doesn't. It's Phil in the pits once again. So he's going to be going for a fastest lap, I think. And serves a pit. No, he gets a wing on. Okay, but he can go for the fastest lap as well. So that'll be interesting. LNST Aqua on some very old hards. Not sure what his plan is, but running the 69. Just giving these back markers a little bit of screen time as Lord Bumbledore's now dropping off a little bit. So your Robbie maybe had a little bit in the tank, and now he's just pulling that all out, pulling out the stops, putting his foot down. We'll have a look at that as Gumba makes his way around. He is 14 seconds off the next person, but good on him for keeping his foot planted and carrying on through. There's no points if you don't finish. And here's the Gunners, who's letting Cypher, I'd say that's Cypher Josh, through. Yeah, Cypher. Nicely done, didn't get in the way too much there at all. But nice to see Gunners running the beautiful Alpha Tauri, not getting in the way at all. He's doing a brilliant job there. Wrathful, 8 seconds from Kenarito. Kenarito 3.9 now, so he's lost 9 tenths. Granted, over quite a few laps, he's only lost 9 tenths, but time lost anyway. And here is Lord Bumbledore getting dangerously close to the back of your Robbie now, who's really got to pull out the stops. I thought he was putting his foot down a little bit earlier, but Lord Bumbledore coming into the 1 second margin, the DRS zone. This could be a case of, with Lord Bumbledore on the fresher tyres, this could be a case of pass and done really. I don't think your Robbie's going to have much chance to attack back, but hopefully I'm proven wrong and we have some great wheel-to-wheel battling between these two, because it's been a long time coming. Lord Bumbledore with the terrible qualifying, I think down in 8th or so. We saw him really far down in 11th or 12th as well. He's worked his way back up, just chipping away, keeping his nose clean, staying out of trouble, and he's now fighting for the lead of the race. Just 5 tenths separates these two. Right, this could be it. Lord Bumbledore has to stay nice and close. That's the 5 tenth margin. You can see it's right where he needs to be. Tiny bit closer if he can be, but your Robbie trying to stay as far ahead as possible. The DRS gets opened. Is he going to move defensively straight away? I think he's just about held onto it for this lap, so that's another lap. Phew! Robbie is going to wipe the sweat from his forehead and get his head down for another lap. It's not all over, just that's not the only place you can pass. There's plenty of opportunities around Spa, but that's the prime point of no return, really. Over and done with for one more lap with just 3 more attempts, or 2 more attempts remaining after this lap. But half a second, the time remains. It is going to be a little bit more difficult for Lord Bumbledore to stay this close to the back of your Robbie when he's in the wash, but of course he's making it look fairly easy. And just sticking at it. Lost a little bit of time on the exit there as your Robbie increases that to 6 tenths, but now he's going to have a bit of a slipstream, and of course will gain. We don't know what the wing settings are for these two cars individually either, so that could be another interesting bit. Your Robbie does also have penalties. We'll have a quick look at those. That's the wrong one. There we go. So 6 seconds of penalties actually for your Robbie ahead. So if these two start fighting and Cardinal finds a second or so, it could possibly be P2 for Cardinal as well, but only if Lord Bumbledore and your Robbie actually start fighting quite aggressively. Lord Bumbledore a little bit further back this time round, 7 tenths, and he didn't get it done last time, so bit of a slingshot over the brow of Radion, though I just don't think he's going to get it done this time round. And no, he's not close enough, so your Robbie definitely had something up his sleeve. River Vixen 92. It's a bit tense, isn't it? Nail-biting stuff. Lord Bumbledore, of course, the championship leader. Your Robbie looking to see what he can do. I think it's a bit of a lost cause, really, with the 6-second penalty as well. Unless something happens, I don't know, if Lord Bumbledore spun. I mean, God help us if that happened. I'd feel really bad because I've just said it. But I think that's the only way, really, that your Robbie's going to get away with this. A lap and a half remaining, and I think Lord Bumbledore sort of comes to terms with that. He doesn't need to do anything. He just needs to sit where he is, stay nice and patient. Of course, you want that on-track victory. You want the substance of the win. You know, it's not always nice it being handed to you, but he knows he just needs to sit behind, stay smart. If a gap opens up and he can get through, then I'm sure he'll take it. But there is really no need for him to do anything. However, in saying that, I'm sure we might see an attempt at the end of Kemmel, if he's close enough. As they come on to the final lap now, your Robbie, Lord Bumbledore, your Robbie's done a sterling job. Led a good chunk of this race, but I fear it's all over now as your Robbie is absolutely swamped by the Williams. Can't do anything. He went to go and defend, but it was far too late, and Lord Bumbledore sneaks up into first position. That'll be interesting to see what gap he can pull on your Robbie, if anything, over just under a lap. But a brilliant move up into the lead of the race on your Robbie. Didn't take any time away from the drivers though, so Cardinal didn't manage to close up that 1.5 seconds he needed. It's actually now 3 seconds that he would need to try and get past your Robbie, unless, God help him, something else happened. But I think Cardinal there for P3. Your Robbie's staying nice and close, but again, not really much reason to make a pass. But yeah, Lord Bumbledore, I think, definitely gets drive of the day there, for going from 8th to 1st. No penalties. A nice, smooth, consistent drive. He was also really, really far back, I think, down in, it said 18th on the timings, but I think it was down in 12th or 11th. And he just fought his way up, staying clean. He's got himself ahead, and I think a beautiful win for Lord Bumbledore. A little bit soul-destroying for your Robbie, who did so well for so long, but Lord Bumbledore snuck past, sneaks across the line to take the win of the Spa GP, and your Robbie follows nice and closely. Here's Cardinal rounding the final corner. 2.7 seconds the gap there. Kennerito, 4th position. He's going to hold that to Rathfield because he also had a 6-second penalty. I think there, yep, the gap's 8 seconds, so he should hold it there. Kennerito holds 4th. Cypher, 6th position. Solex and Grimdog fighting. There's, oh no! Oh, Grimdog spins round on the final corner. Is that going to allow your face to get anywhere near him? No, he's still 20 seconds behind. But that was gut-wrenching for Grimdog, who just pirouetted out of the final corner, trying a little bit too hard to try and pass Solex, but that was entertainment. All out of your face, crosses the line for 9th position. Here's SF1 Kimmy. We had some great fighting for him. Oh, LNST Aqua has DNF'd somewhere along the line, as Johnny Sherbert, Phil Gummer, Robert come across. Gunners actually finishes, but yeah, LNST Aqua didn't make it. He will still get points, but I don't think he's I think he's going to get overtaken by... Oh no, he won't, because Gunners was a lap short. Okay, so Gunners stays in 16th. Gumba comes across for P13. Great number that. And Robert 22, who was fighting for the lead of the race at the beginning. I think. Yes, at the beginning he was. In fact, he put on pole. Finishes a dismal 14th, so very unfortunate to see that. And quite far back for Robert. I think he's still got to do one more lap somehow. It's not counted him as finished, but he's definitely finished. So Robert 22 comes in 14th. We will see when we come to the podium exactly how correct this is, because I have seen a lot of mishaps with this in other streams in recent games, and of course tonight I've seen a couple of dodgy goings on with the timing board during the race, so we will see just how much of this is entirely correct, but I'm pretty sure that is your podium. Lord Bumbledore, your Robbie, and SF1 Cardinal takes P3, which is brilliant to see, as of course the Renault team boss. It's great to see my boy on the podium, and it was horrible to have to watch live and on board my other driver absolutely crease it into a barrier. But yeah, almost some good control. Stick in the chat who your driver of the day was. For me, it was Lord Bumbledore. It was not Grimdog. For me, it was Lord Bumbledore. He did a brilliant job. But Grimdog did well as well. Seb is king of comms, thanks Becca. All our faces wing damage, blah de blah de blue de blah. All the stuff that I've already spoken about. Did Rath Spinala? He did. And guess who did as well on the final lap? Yeah, it was Grim. He had a mess out of that final corner. But there's your winners. I'm going to jump on to the... Actually, I'll do it when it comes up with the board. But there's your winner, Lord Bumbledore. So, nice bit of diversity up there on the top step. Lord Bumbledore takes round 14's win with a brilliant decisive move on the final few laps to your Robbie and Cardinal, your top three. We will jump in and invite these guys to the party. Oh, not to the game, to the party. And Cardinal invite to the party, not to the game. But yeah, that's your top three. Kenarito, Wrathful, Cypher Josh, Solex, Grimdog, all our your face, and Johnny Sherbert rounds off your top 10. Johnny Sherbert finishing as he started today with a little bit of a neutral race. SF1 Kimmy takes 11th. Phil Robert 22. SF1 Gumba. LNST Aqua, the Gunners 16th, and of your non-finishers it's Gamerman, Danberg, Sweatpalm, and Notorious Nutmeg, who nutmegged the wall very nicely. That is your race. There's your finishing positions, and we'll now see how many of these creeps we have in the party. We've got everyone except Lord Bumbledore. Does he normally join the party, or is he one of those that doesn't have a mic or something silly like that? There he is. Could you guys just make sure that you have your party stuff's included, that thing ticked at the top? That'd be great. We'll start from the back. Cardinal, yeah. You had I mean, to be honest, it was kind of hard at times to keep track on where everyone was, because you were all bouncing around the top five quite massively, and you were sitting there just being quite patient, taking advantage of any errors. No penalties, as usual, doing a brilliant job, and you've stuck it in there for third position. So talk us through the shenanigans of your race there, because it looked quite messy in front of you.
It was. First of all, thank you, and congratulations to the other two winners. Yeah, Spa was one of my better tracks, so I did use some patience. I think my start was probably the best part of my race. And then, yeah, there was a little bit of misfortune in front of me, gave me a few spots, but other than that, I just ran my pace I know I could do, and when Bumbledore came up on behind me, I probably knew sooner or later he was going to get me at a DRS, so I didn't fight that too much. I was just looking at the gaps for the penalties and just drove as hard as I could, and I'm glad to be on the podium. I had some misfortune in the past few races.
Yeah, it's nice to see you back on the podium.
Yeah,
yeah. Like you say, you just stayed out of trouble really and kept on the back of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant job to get yourself up into P3.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. It's brilliant to see you back up on the podium, of course. No bias at all, of course. But it's great to see a Renault there. So congratulations to you. And I will now unmute your Robbie just because his telly was a bit loud. Your Robbie! Yeah, it's alright, mate, no worries. a little bit bittersweet for you. You did so well for so long, holding quite a commanding lead. Unfortunately, Lord Bumbledore managed to sneak through the field, I think a couple times actually, and finally got onto the back of you just a few laps from the end. So your last 4 laps were quite intense. But talk us through before the last 4 laps and how you managed to get in your nice comfortable position, and then you can tell us how gut-wrenching it was for Lord Pumbledore just to soar past.
Well, first off,
eventually.
The start's probably the best start that I've had all season, to be fair. I jumped 2 people at the start, I couldn't name who they were. I think I got Cardinal a couple of laps later. But obviously from qualifying from P9, it was just a case of after that, once there was a few crashes in front, it was just get your head down and get going. I stopped a lap before my scheduled pit stop, because obviously the tyres were going off, and I thought, well, I might get a bit more of the lead on that. I kept I think it was a 4.5 second gap for about maybe 4 or 5 laps, and then could see Dumbledore creeping up behind me, and I was like, okay. And then I picked up 2 penalties, which by that time he was sort of like 1.5 seconds behind, I think. I was like, yeah, that's it. I can't do no more. And the tyres were going off towards the end as well. So
yeah, I could see you did have I think you had 2 or 3 laps older tyres than Lord Bumbledore as well. So not really playing directly into your hands, and of course that penalty as well just made things a little bit unfeasible, but it was a brilliant drive from you and had some great pace, and without those penalties it possibly could have been a even more spectacular last couple laps, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Just handed a little bit harder, but brilliant to watch, and it was great to see you even to get your 2nd place. So well done for you. Lord Bumbledore, hello.
Hello, mate.
It's nice to see you at the top step again, becoming fairly common, I mean, throughout the championship, but dominating the championship so far. But I think, I don't know whether it was correct, but on the timing screens you went from, I think you started 8th, am I right?
Yeah.
At one point it showed you in 18th.
Yeah, it kind of someone wiped me out to start.
I thought so. It was correct, yeah. So you went down from 8th to 18th up to 11th in some brilliant driving, and then you just picked them off one by one sort of throughout the rest of the race. But what was it? Were you just stupidly consistent? Did you have that little edge on everyone else, or what was it for you?
Well, I think, at the start, yeah, I mean, someone wiped me off, so then I had to kind of like just try and pick people off, the end, what you call it, the bottom end of the field, pick them off, and then I think I got lucky somehow. I don't know. There was loads of people that like spun off in front of me. I think it was the Red Bull spun off in front of me, towards the end of stage of the race as well. But I stayed out a little bit longer on my softs because I thought they was okay. But I think what happened is I didn't lap on the softs, so I had fresher tyres than everybody else at the start, which played into my hands. I think everybody else was already on like 12% by the race, so I was able to go a few laps later, which gave me better, what do you call it, towards the end of the race. Obviously helped me catch you, Robbie. That took some doing, but I just try to keep it consistent, no penalties. I learned from last year. Penalties a bit around this track, and it's so easy to make a mistake. So I think
it'll bite you if you mess up. I think you can ask both the Mercedes drivers about that. And I think there was a Red Bull driver that got bitten quite badly by that. But no, it's absolutely brilliant to see. Just it's not even like you cut through the field. You made your way through really nicely.
I think the pit stop helped as well. I don't really know. I went from like
definitely. You
gained
like
7th to
4.5
seconds.
seconds.
Yeah.
You gained 4.5 seconds in the pit, so you were 8.5 behind Cardinal, and then you came out and you were 4.5, and then 2 laps later you were 1.5, and I was like, oh god. But anyway, absolutely brilliant drive from yourself, and not forgetting Cardinal and Robbie as well, who
Yeah,
did
well
a
done,
brilliant
guys.
job. So congratulations to your podium. Hopefully we'll see you, the viewers, tomorrow and on Sunday as well. We've got GP2 and GP1 at the same time, 8:30, but between 8:30 and 9, depending on the streamer. They might. It depends. But yeah, we'll be online. So do join us. Big shout out to everyone involved. If you want to get involved, just contact us on SF1. Simulation Formula 1 on Facebook, you'll find us. But yeah, thank you to everyone and good night.